Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a beer, it's time for some Path of Exile discussion. In this, I want to do a live stream where I generate a loot filter for the current late league state of the economy. If you're watching this after the fact, so when it's no longer a stream, but when it's actually uploaded, down in the description of the video below, there will be a link to the filter that we've come up with. But partly I wanted to go through the thought process that's behind a loot filter generation, and this is done on the website filterblade.xyz. Filterblade.xyz is created by content creator Neversink and is an absolute goldmine of information and customization options for a loot filter. So it is something that I think is a very useful starting point. So the first option that you have is how strict you want the filter to be after you choose which economy you're going off. So this is softcore, hardcore versus stable. Basically, softcore is going to pull all of the pricing from the softcore trade league economy. And so things that are genuinely good items but that are really common, like Atzeri's Promise, will generally not be worth very much and may end up being hidden on a setting like this. Hardcore will take a different set of data, obviously. Things that are aimed at having a low chance of creating a very valuable item will be less of appeal to hardcore players. And then there's a stable thing, which is based upon Neversink's own hard coding of data, price data. I'm going to go with the softcore because I play in softcore trade. And then you can check your level of strictness. Here is a quick guide that comes up as to how the settings show or hide various items. I like to start with uber strict late in the league. However, I will be customizing quite a bit. And it gives you an overview here as to what's shown and what's hidden, but then you can modify that later. So you can say, oh yeah, I want my, all of the good tier currencies to show, but not all of the lower tier ones. But then you will probably want to make a few changes along the way. So for instance, I will be showing a lot more tier 4 divination cards, and I will be carefully tuning what is in tier 4 and what is in tiers 3 and 5, because I often find divination card prices don't reflect what is listed. Then there's a whole lot of things related to crafting bases, which is still somewhat up in the air because of the current state of the meta. The next overall functional choice that you make is the style. I like the normal style myself, but you are not required to stick with that. You can go with something that's a meme option, which is Krangled, which you don't really want to use. It's unless you're wanting to make a joke filter. That will give you that will hide the name of every item, so you can't actually read the filter. It'll tell you how valuable the item is, but it won't tell you what it is. It's a lot of fun, but it's not very useful. So next we have a setup where there's an overview. This is useful just to get a sense of what your strictness level will do, but generally speaking, you will want to go into the customization section and transform this a lot. Because of some of the mechanics of this league, I think low tier maps are much more valuable than normal, and as a result, we're going to be showing every single map that drops. So we can go into the Customize tab at this point, and then change the things that need to be changed in the loot filter. So firstly, vendor recipes is the first thing. Gem Cutter Prism is an interesting one. Early in a league, quite often a 16 quality or higher gem can be worth looting off the ground in order to throw 4 GCPs onto it, and then selling it as a 20 quality gem. While that is true early in the league, it is not true late in the league. And Neversink's filter defaults on uber strict to hiding all gems that have 18 or lower quality. I tend to prefer showing a few more of these. That's just my preference. So I'm going to show 17 and up. So if a gem drops with 17 or higher quality, it will show. Otherwise, if say just a blight gem dropped that had 14 quality, it's not going to show on the filter. It'll still be there, and it'll be there if you hold Alt, you'll see it, and it will stand out a bit, but it's not going to show up by default. You can change that if you want, but I prefer not to have them showing. Cartographers Chisel is a now useless filter recipe. This allows you to see items that can be vended in a specific way to get you a Cartographer's Chisel. And broadly speaking, this is just not worth the effort. Certainly not for advanced players, but even not for new players. It's not worth it anymore. The game has changed since this was a relevant recipe. For those of you that are curious, it's a 20 quality hammer plus any map. that will vendor for a Cartographers Chisel. And you can do this once if there's a league challenge to do it. Glassblow's baubles are interesting. So here, flasks are in a really weird place. With all of the changes that have happened to flasks lately, we actually are going to want to do something different here. Any flask that drops that is 85 quality, that is level 85 or higher, we want to see it. And we want it to sing out to us. We want the game to sing out if there is a flask that drops that is 85 quality, that is level 85 and that is a 20 quality already. So we are going to apply one of the default sounds here, which is done by, that's not the correct spot for it. There is a setting where you can change the sounds that are made for various things to numbers. It's in normal, isn't it? Just looking for one that doesn't sound great, and that one doesn't sound great. So if I get a ruby flask, for instance, that drops with 20 quality, that's going to sing out to me. Then there is lower quality flasks. Here I am only interested in flasks that drop that are ultra high quality. That are ultra high item level. And that's because of the changes that were made to the game in this league. They don't need to have any quality on them at all. They can just be anything at all as long as they're magic or down. These are worth picking up, throwing an Instilling Orb on, and throwing them into a stash tab, and just seeing if they sell. At the moment, there is a lot of demand for high item level flasks because of all the changes that were made to flasks in this league. Jeweler's Orb. I am not interested in picking up 6 sockets anymore. Additionally, 6 socket 5 links, I was picking up and putting them into the Scourge device for a long period. I've stopped doing that now. There were a few things I was getting that were sort of okay, but broadly speaking, I don't think it's worth it. Unique rings, you can have a loot filter option there to show them. That's for the Loreweave recipe. Loreweave isn't really a meta item this league, so I'm not going to bother with it. Now, chancing bases are in a really interesting place this league. These are normally hidden on a tight loot filter, on a highly optimized loot filter. But, and this one's important, there is a strategy you can use where you can show every Ezomite dagger that drops. You can pick up these Ezomite daggers and you can stick them into the Scourger, or you can hit them with Vile Orbs. If you get anything that would be a good result if it was on Cold Iron Point, then you can hit those daggers with Mythic Orbs. I'm actually going to try this for a little bit, but I am certainly not going to have these show up and sing out at me. I'm just going to have them, I'm just going to remove these from here. Ezomite daggers are potentially worth it. In fact, I'm going to check the pricing on Cold Iron Point now. So let's go to a website called POE.ninja, which has a whole bunch of prices of items. And just going to check what Cold Iron Point is currently trading for. It has fallen quite a bit. It's now 10C. I'm not going to bother with that anymore. Even though there is a chance of getting a reasonable outcome from it, I'm not going to bother with it. So not interested in picking up any of the chancing bases. That's just too fiddly, not really worth your effort. At least not at endgame. You can do it early on if you want, and you might find that there's interesting things. If anyone in chat has questions, by the way, do fire away. If you've got any questions about exactly how some of the mechanics of creating a filter work. I like a different style to this. I like the traditional... why is that not showing up as... Oh, because we're in dark mode. That's why. In fact, let me just quickly change off dark mode so that I can see this a bit better, because that is looking a little bit silly there. So I need to go to Chrome Flags on my other browser and remove that. And then we will... this is something that's worth knowing. If you're interested in using the dark mode on any website, you can do that, but it's kind of awkward. It sometimes doesn't work on a couple of things. So it is Chrome :/flags is what we need to go to do that. And then default, I can't do that. I can't actually use that unless I relaunch my stream. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to push on. So that is currently white, even though it looks black there, it's actually white. So we're going to use the filtering system that Filterblade has built in to detect the prices on all currency items and auto-sort them. Then we are going to sanity check this. It is very important that you check this because sometimes prices get manipulated. You need to check to make sure that nothing that should be valuable has been put into by misleading people into weird tabs. Now, I got a couple of chat comments. People are asking about Fiend Daggers. Fiend Daggers are very rare. Like, Arakali's Fang is the unique you're hoping for with a Fiend Dagger. Arakali's Fang is something like 10 times rarer than Cold Iron Point, and that's why I don't, broadly speaking, think that it's likely to be worth your while chancing them. I will just check the price on Arakali's Fang in case I am miles off on it and it's become very valuable. So let's just check the price. I think you would be better off chancing for one of the true chase uniques instead. So I would suggest if you were interested in chancing for very, very rare items, don't go for Arakali's Fang. Instead, go for Headhunter, go for Mageblood, or go for, what's the other one? The Squire, but probably actually Mageblood. So if you want to have any bases on there, put the heavy belts on. Unfortunately, my chat is crangled at the moment. I'm just going to fix that. That's working now. Excellent. Now I can see everything. Okay, so everything seems right here. Nothing here looks like it's out of place. We're going to check next tier seems all good. And our tier 2 seems all fine as well. Nothing there looks like rubbish. Ritual Splinters maybe, but they don't drop in normal gameplay and they drop in stacks. Tier 3, we'll have a quick check there to see. Bestiary Orbs don't really drop in the normal game at all, so they should be a tier higher, but it doesn't matter because they don't drop. Now we've got the stuff that's hidden and you need to check everything here. Now we have Abrasive Catalysts. I like having every catalyst visible. So Abrasive and Noxious, even though they're worth less than that. Fusing Orbs we're only going to see in stacks, so that's alright. Enkindling and Instilling Orbs are in an interesting place. They are genuinely cheap at the moment. And I'm just going to check. Horizon Orbs I will show. I'm going to set it basically to 1/4 of a Chaos Orb. Tainted Whetstones are interesting. I think they should be showing as well. They don't drop very much, so they're not going to be annoying. Here's the stuff that's super common, well, the stuff that's super cheap, but not all that common yet. And then here's the stuff that's genuinely super common. Jeweler's Orbs are ridiculously cheap this league, and that's because of the existence of Tainted Fusing Orbs. They have smashed the price of both Jeweler's Orbs and Fusing Orbs. Just making sure that nothing valuable is being hidden here, and that is correct. Nothing here is valuable at all. There are special rules for stacks of currency now. Leveling specific rules I don't care about. I'm going to ignore them. Now let's look at stacks. Multiple Divine Orbs, multiple Tainted Divine Teardrops. Yeah, that's... anything in there we'll definitely be picking up. Not that they drop in stacks in any typical numbers. And now we're just checking if anything is hidden. So these huge stacks of Alchemy Shards hidden correctly. Alt Shards hidden correctly. Binding Shards hidden correctly. That's fine. So everything is fine in the stacks section there. Now we're looking at large stacks. And again, we want to just look at the things that are hidden because they're the things that can stuff you up if there's been price fixing going on. But everything there is correctly hidden. Supplies is low end stuff, and we're just going to have a quick check there that nothing genuinely important is being hidden here. And yeah, this is fine. I'm fine with only seeing stacks of 6 or more of these. That way you have enough of them for when they do drop. So low tier supplies, you're only going to see Armorer's Scraps if they're in big piles, and that's all fine. Portal Scrolls and Wisdom Scrolls, again, I'm only interested in them if they're dropping in stacks of 10. Then I'll pick them up. Wisdom should be the same. With all the changes that they made to Scrolls dropping clustered, they're much less valuable than they used to be. And so I'm happy with the current setup of the currency section there. Currency Special is an interesting one. So this covers things like Essences. And Essences, I just want to show the Screaming and Up, which is what Neversink defaults to. So I'm just making sure, check every line that's hidden, and every line that's hidden is something I'm happy to hide. Delve, however, I am going to change the way that Neversink handles this. I want to see everything in... I want to see everything in their resonators. In fact, that is correct. They are showing everything currently. That's all right. Normally, they've been all over the place. Fossils will definitely be something I will change, and that'll be because there will be some things in the fossils that are very, 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 very low value. And in fact, there's a lot of them. I want to see all of these. The thing with fossils is that they tend to be worth something in large bulk. So they're definitely always worth picking up. Next we have the Delirium Orbs. We'll show the prices on them and auto-sort them. And Delirium Orbs have gone up, but they're all worth something. So that's correctly set. Blight Oils. Blight Oils, Tainted Oils are valuable. Let's just show the prices and auto-sort and then just check them again. Okay, so Silver Oils are expensive at the moment as well. I didn't realise that. Then you have Opalescent, Crimson and Black, worth something. Teal Oils are in an interesting spot. So, firstly, why do we have... This is odd. Everything else is coming up as being having a sound on it. No. No, we do not want a sound. We want no sound on these. No way do we want a sound on these. No way do we want an icon on them. I don't actually mind having them show on the... having low tier stuff show, but I do not want it standing out. I want this to be just sort of hiding, and that will be fine. Eye level threshold on those blink, I don't know, and I don't think anyone does. There's a lot of speculation that the minimum level is the item level threshold, but we genuinely cannot say we know this. So it's a good question though, is there an item level threshold for the Chanceable, Mage Blood, Squire and Headhunter? What I would suggest you do there is once you exceed the item level threshold, I don't know that Mythic Orbs are necessarily the best, that this is necessarily the best use of Mythic Orbs. I'm just not sure on that front. And also I don't want a striking background on these. They can just look dull. That'll be fine. In fact, let's go with something really... Oh, hang on, that's the background. What we want is, this is the background we're looking for. Just go with something really bland. Heist rogue markers. I always pick up stacks of 50 plus rogue markers because there's something that you'll get multiple exalts worth over the course of a league, and they sell fast. They're one of the best selling things in the game. So yeah, definitely pick them up. Reroll currencies all show. Astragalis are not so... Astragalis and scrap metals are not so exciting, but I'll still always pick them up, so I don't mind them. Incubators are in a weird spot at the moment. They're kind of awkward in that they have... Like, their price is heavily influenced by the amount... Or by their item level. But I think at the moment we'll just put the trash in its own tier. So... Primal is in a trash tier. Celestial Armorers is in a trash tier. Yeah. Fine Incubator should be there. That's the currency one, I think. Whispering Incubator is the low tier. Essence Incubator, that can stay there. At least I think it's the low tier one. Infused is the high tier, yeah. Alright, Celestial Blacksmith's Incubator can come down a tier. They're rubbish as well. I think everything else here looks fine. Fragment Incubators are a real gamble. They're mostly garbage, but they're okay. Abyssal Incubator is garbage usually. Oh no, it can drop Scarabs. Yeah, everything there is fine. I don't want these singing out at me though. Let's put Time Lost Incubator up here and have it sing out. Have Geomancer sing out because that gives you a 6 link. Everything here, let's turn off the sound. I don't want a sound on these. I don't want a map icon and I don't want a beam. I will pick them up, but I'm not excited to get any of those. And that's what we're good with there. Harbinger upgrade items are all valuable, at least to some extent. And Incursion Vials, I will trust Neversink's filtering. I want everything to show on those, but I'm not sure if any of them are worth anything. So, next we have our unique items. I am going to leave Neversink's data alone entirely here, except for one thing, and that is if the best drop is in this tier. So most expensive is 2 to 5C. In this category, I am going to remove the sound. I don't care if I miss these. I mean, I'll pick them up if I see them, but I don't mind if I miss them. They don't need to jump out at me in any way, shape or form. The reason for this is that with these uniques, you're basically just going to ID them and then vendor them once you get to the point that you're not interested in doing 5 chaos trades, unless they roll well. If they roll well, then you will list them at something like at some quite high price. Hideable uniques with non-droppable expensive versions are fine. That's all good. Cheap and hideable uniques, most expensive is under 2C. Here we need to check and just make sure that that nothing jumps out at me as someone having played around with the economy. That happens sometimes. Someone will troll and will mess with the economy, listing an item for 1C. I don't see anything, and I'm not going to be absolutely thorough in this search. I'm just checking if anything that I recognize as being expensive is listed there. Wereclaw Talisman. Oh, yeah, Rigwald's Curse. That's not very expensive. Okay, that's all right. I'm actually quite content with that setup. Divination cards, I'll be making some changes here. This is where I'll be making some changes. So firstly, we're going to auto-sort these. Now, the thing that you need to know with div cards is that they get price fixed a lot. All sorts of tiers of them get price fixed, and so we are going to need to check everything that's hidden. Every single hidden card could be something that we need to investigate. So very valuable cards. So just having a quick look to make sure that there's nothing that seems madly wrong in there, but everything looks fine. Valuable cards, 1.5 to 5C are often... Prices on these can be a little bit funny. I am going to tone down the sound. Oh, what is the sound on these? It's just a subtle sound. I don't think it needs to have a map icon. Oh, well, let's give it a map icon. I will give it a map icon, but I will give it a small one, and it can stand out less as a result. A light beam can be there, yeah. They're not going to be annoying. These the key thing I want to check here is the current price of the Wretched. Which category is the Wretched in? Because that is actually a card that should be in the 5C section. We'll find that when we go through the later tiers. So we do not care about these. Are currency-like cards. These require a bit of an assessment. So, for instance, Offering to the Goddess is not really something that needs to be valuable. This is just a cheap card and should stay there. Coveted Possession is 9 cards for Regal Orbs. That's a cheap card. Disdain is Delirium Orb. That's fine. That's here because it becomes a Divine Orb. So that's correct. This thing sells in bulk, so you do actually want to pick it up, as mad as that might seem sometimes. 9 Shrieking Essences is fine. Loyalty I have been using in an experiment, but it is actually really worthless this league. So it goes into the bottom. It goes into the bottom tier of we are not interested in this card at all. The reason for that is that Fusing Orbs are super cheap this league. I'm not even picking up 1 Fusing Orb, much less 0.6 of them. Gilded Scarab is good. Yeah, that one's good. 10 alts. Master 6 Help Jun is fine. We will keep that on there. Mortal Fragment. Cacophony is Deafening Essences. The reason for that, Chris, is that in previous leagues, that would be a whoosh. In this league, 6 links are so cheap that it is just a Divine Orb. And yeah, that is this league's economy. Nothing more than that. Card Shop is actually probably a better one this league and we'll put it into tier 3. The reason for that, Divination Scarabs are super expensive this league. All of them are expensive. Even the Rusted Divination Scarab has exploded in price lately. The Fool is a bunch of... This is 5 Chance Orbs a card. I will pick that up. I'm not going to be excited about it. The Innocent is 4 Regrets a card. That's worth picking up. This is a cheap card this league. Master Artisan is worth picking up. Just Annuls. That's a very rare card anyway. Master 6 Help is... Yeah. Survivalist. 7 Alchemy Orbs is very cheap this league. 7 Alchemy Orbs I would pick up. 1/3 of 7 Alchemy Orbs I will not. So that goes into the same tier as Reign of Chaos. Vinny's token worth picking up. 3 voices worth picking up just. Alright, I'm happy with those changes. Now, let's have a look-see here. Tier 4, the Fletcher is Drillneck Corrupted. I have a feeling that's worth something more. The Warlord, 6-link Coronal Maul, that's just a currency like Tier 4. The Harvest Corrupted, no, I don't think that's worth anything. Cheap currency like cards. Okay, so we have... These have changed, that's correct. Her Mask, Reign of Chaos, Catalyst, and Flora's Gift. Yep, I'm happy with all of those. Now, here is where there will be mistakes. The Wretched is probably in here. And should never be in here, but it's... I know it's not been put in there. Hey, that's nice to see. Where is the Wretched? Is it in the 2 to 5C cards section this time properly? Have they actually got it right? Has it actually gotten to be in the 5+C cards category or what? Alright, I need to see where the Wretched is. So, POE.ninja. Oh, okay, so I've missed it. In center column in here. Alright, I will have a look for it just to see what's gone on with it. That's actually a good use that Dinosaur Chandran raises of Flora's Gift. If you want to get Divine Orbs, that is a good way to farm Divine Orbs. So I am just trying to make sure that the Wretched is that I can see the Wretched myself because I'm being an idiot and I can't seem to see it. The Wretched, the Wretched, the Wretched. Keep going down. Keep in a lower tier, like in here. I am clueless today. The whiteout, I've got the whiteout there, which is the W, but there's the Watcher. Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay. So there we are. Sorry, yeah, all right. It is here. This is definitely wrong. So this is not going here at all. This is actually a genuinely valuable card this league. And it's going to go up, 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 up. It's a set of 6 for a random belt. And the reason that it's worth something significant is that I believe you have a 1 in 1490 chance of getting a Mageblood from it, as well as a 1 in 1490 chance to get a Headhunter from it. So that means that it's an appreciable fraction of a multi-mirror item with Mageblood. So for that reason, it's got to be up, 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 up in price. So that's why I'm putting it in my get excited about this drop category. In fact, I think that it may well be that the best reason to do Tower Map is not actually going to be the rare nurse drops you get. It'll be the frequent Wretched drops. So what do we have here? These are all cheap. These are all genuinely cheap cards. And I'm just making sure that there's nothing else. Dying Anguish is not a cheap card at all. This has been price fixed and is multiple chaos at least. And that's the sort of thing we're looking for. Glimmer of Hope is a gold ring. Humility is always worth picking up. Hope. Heterochromia is always worth picking up. And it's also a very rare drop. Blesses Respite, Rain Tempter Rats, The Ascete, Shout of Fate, Scholar of the Seas, Arena Champion, Battleborn, Betrayal with Body, Conduit, Cataclysm. Just looking through if there's anything else in here that's... The Fox isn't... No, that's not anymore. Still checking. The Lion is a lower value, but sort of still okay. We'll put that up a tier. King's Heart. I just have a feeling that the Calms is still a couple C, like a few C at least. Spoiled Prince is much better than people give it credit for. A lot of good crafts start with that. I think that's true of not the Trader. That's not the item I'm thinking of. Throne is really good this league with the Krangler. You can get some quite good things with that, and a lot of people like Calms at the moment. That I think is a little bit better than a bottom tier item. And we're just looking for anything else that can give one of the new uniques as well. Valley of Steel boxes, that is broken this league, so it's no good. The Garish power isn't quite there. It's not worth grabbing. The Realm is the portal one. That is always worth having for, like, it's always worth a little bit. And it's also just something that's really useful. You get a 20 quality portal off it every now and again, and that's worthwhile. What else have we got here? Okay, Poor Joe's Asylum. No, that's not worth much anymore. Level 21 Golem Gem is worth grabbing. The reason that's worth grabbing is because of the Harvest Crafts that crunch down that. Arrogance of the Vaal is always worth picking up. Tier 3, it shouldn't be below Tier 3. Price Protection probably shouldn't be, but because one of my cards, I'll put it in for. Vanity should be in Tier 4 because it's a ninth of a Divine Orb always. Echoes of Love is another high RNG one that sometimes a content creator wants like 200 copies of it for a project. Archmage's Right Hand is worth picking up. Primordial is worth picking up. A lot of these that are not being traded very much, but that are definitely worth picking up. That's the Craving. That's a feeling that card is one that's often worth a bit. Prejudice, that never belongs in cheap tier. That's always worth picking up. Costly Curio is always worth picking up. All these are cards that are getting price fixed at the moment, or getting maybe not necessarily deliberately price fixed, but people are stuffing around with the prices enough that they're showing up as being rubbish when they're actually not. All right, let's have another quick check through all of these. Make sure that we haven't missed anything. Everything here is rubbish so far, or when I say rubbish, I mean like low value, not necessarily rubbish. 20 quality gem, 1/3 of it. What would an average 20 quality gem be worth? Maybe 3C, that's just worth picking up. Glimmer of Hope is the gold ring card, I always forget that exists. And there is a divination card that gives a random shield, and I'm just trying to think what it is. That'll be for the POE. That's a question for the POE wiki. So we want to check the divination card that gives a random shield to see if that can give us this, if that is worth a look for the Squire. So that can come from the Mercenary is worth a look. It's a set of 5. I think that's worth picking up now. How many unique shields are there? That's the question. And what sort of tiers are we looking at too? List of unique shields. So this is something we'll just do quickly to work out whether it's worth picking up the Mercenary or not. Lycosidé is rare. Troll Timber Spire is rare. Titicus's Span is very common. Redblade Banner is uncommon. Chernobog's Pillar is common. Tukahama's Fortress is exceedingly rare. Anticipation is boss only. Arn's Heritage is uncommon. Lionel's Remorse. Oh, then we got more. Crest Parandus is common. Calton Halt is common. There's a lot of things the Mercenary can give. I'm still inclined to pick up the Mercenary, but not to be excited by it. So it goes in tier 4 when I find the Mercenary again. You are going to tier 4 because of that. And then we're just checking La Hoop of All. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with everything here so far. Volatile Power is, yeah, no, not for a set of 9. It's not worth picking up at that point. Chimeria's Cut is a random Scarab. I think that is, because it's a small set, it's worth it. And that's basically going to be it. So let's just make sure that... Oh, tier 4 is hidden at the moment. So tier 4 should be shown, but not with no excitement about it. Gemcutter's Promise. Yeah, that's the one I thought that I just put there. Yep, okay, that's fine. Tier 4 currency-like, and I'm happy with everything that's hidden. I'm happy with now. Good, that's what we wanted. So, tainted currencies have been added to the normal. Uber content's been added. Scourged items need to be hidden, all of them. No, yep, that's all good. That's what we want. Perfection types, tier 1 need to be I-85 plus. Tainted oils skyrocketing is an interesting question. I'm not sure of any massive use case for them. They are genuinely rare, and you need one to use the unique item Leadership's Price. So that's definitely going to be a part of it. But I'm not sure about anything else beyond Leadership's Price. So, yeah, basically not certain there. Leadership's Price with prismatic whatever it's called, prismatic heart anointed on it is just absolutely incredible. If you get a well-rolled Leadership's Price, like you can get +5 to all resists on your necklace, as well as a bunch of other powerful effects on it. Maps. We are showing all map tiers. We want to see every single map tier this league. This is a league in which low tier mapping is actually strong. It's not just viable, it's strong. So every map's shown. Shaper and Elder maps will be shown as they normally are. Delirium and other Enchanted maps shown as they normally are. Scourge maps, they don't drop in normal gameplay, but they'll be shown. Yeah, okay, that's interesting if they've doubled overnight. I'm not sure of the cause of a short-term doubling of price. That's interesting. I didn't know that. All blighted maps we want to see. They're all worth picking up, and 13 plus are very much worth picking up and selling. Uber blighted maps are not getting run all that much, but they are selling when they do drop. Nemesis Beyond maps are showing. Yep, that's good. Logbooks are showing, and I want my logbooks to scream at me if they're high tier. I want the game to be excited that I have a high tier logbook. That's not excitement. That is excitement. That is an exalt sound. The lower tier logbooks I want to show up, but they don't need to scream at me. Maps, highlight and hide is, we're not using that rule. I don't think we're using any of these rules. That's what we want. Cool, we're not using any of those rules. Now, scarabs and similar. Let's start with the things that need to be done here. We've got all the invites are showing, and the expensive ones should sing out at us. These should be showing as an Exalt tier sound. That's what we want. Exalt tier sound and really striking graphics is what we want to have on the top invitations, because they're a big drop. Simulacrum splinters are fine. That's how we want them. I like the way Neversync does them. Ultimatum stuff doesn't drop. Reliquary keys don't drop. Splinters, I want to pick up piles of 2 or more of the cheap ones. And I want, doesn't matter. And what are the dumpster tier ones? Oh yeah, okay, we've got them all. Ulnatol is a tier 2 splinter. That's the only change we're making there. So Ulnatol, even a single splinter will show, whereas 2 and up is needed for lower tier ones. Yep, we'll have the logbooks screaming at us. That is the plan. Okay, fragments. Let us auto sort. So this auto sorts starting thing that we're doing here, that brings it into line with the default settings that are used by Neversync. Now we just want to check everything that's hidden. So what's being hidden? We do not want to ever hide mortal fragments, I believe. They always have uses. Sacrifice fragments I'm fine with hiding. Divine vessels I don't want to hide either. And the reason for that is that divine vessels are genuinely expensive. Sorry, they're genuinely annoying to get your hands on. Interestingly, you'll see Chayula's Flawless Breachstones have been price manipulated. So that's an example of something that the game has been, the pricing infrastructure has been broken by some bad actors in the trade economy. So I'm just going to make sure that Chayula's Flawless Breachstones are showing here, because they should be in tier 1, and they are. So that's now fixed. That's important. You always check things that are hidden. Scarabs. Everything needs to be auto-sorted, and everything that is hidden needs to be inspected. If it's a divination scarab, it's worth something at the moment, this league. Nothing is hidden on scarabs, even the cheap stuff. We show it all. Even Rusted Torment. They're worth picking up now. Uberlab offerings, I just want to show them with no highlighting because there's a couple of challenges that might make them might make them spike in price at various points. Prophecies, I broadly trust Neversync's pricing on these, and I just check all the ones that are hidden to make sure that there's nothing that I recognize as valuable or useful, even useful in bulk. So that all looks fine. Item drop related ones are probably all going to they're all going to be fine. Lost Maps is worth picking up this league. So that's tier 3. That's the only change I'm making there. And then we've got here cheap prophecies. Always just a quick check on these. Fire and Ice I think is I think that's worth a little bit more than that. And oh no, it's a Vision of Ice and Fire. Sorry. Oh well, that goes to a couple of C. Then we're looking. Invader is actually worth picking up. You use that if you're mapping in the region that has invasion bosses in it, and you'll never be sad about that. Anarchy's End 1. You want to see this. That's the one I believe. Oh, hang on, no, you don't. My bad. Anarchy's End 1 I've just put in here. That was a mistake. It's one of the other... It's... Yeah, the one that I was thinking of is Deadly Rivalry 1. Deadly Rivalry 1 leads to Kintsugi, and that's why you always want to find that. Deadly Rivalry 1 we want to have showing for sure if it's in here. And that's it there. That is actually an expensive prophecy, even if it's not trading for that, because Kintsugi can be an expensive item. Ambitious Bandit 1 leads to an expensive item as well, so we're going to put that up higher tier. Feral Lord 1, I'm always happy to... Oh no, I don't care about that anymore. They nerfed the Power Council stuff, didn't they? And Hidden. Oh, you can just go there. Alright, that's better. Unique maps. I want to show everything. I don't care about the ones that are low value. I want them showing because I want to find them, just to run them myself. That's all there is. Special unique maps is, oh yeah, Harbingers. Heist contracts. No matter what, you show everything because they are valuable. You always pick up heist contracts no matter what. You sell them when you have bulk. Unique contracts, I will show everything again. And custom contract rules is, I'm not going to bother doing that. Blueprints, Grand Heists. If it is one of the ones that drops a gem, then it needs an Exalt sound. So let's just go to Blueprints and just get the list here. This is over on POEwiki.net. This will have the reward types. They are set by these. So contract. Okay, Blueprints. Mansion is Enchanted Armaments. Smuggler's Den, Thieves' Trinkets, Replicas Experimented Items, Replicas Experimented Items. Okay, Repository and Tunnels. Repository and Tunnels are high tier. So, Repository goes here. Hang on. Move it to new tier. And Tunnels goes into the new contract tier. These two are very, very valuable drops. So normal, sound 6. These shriek at me please when they go off. You want to see them. You want them to be in your face. You want them to be noisy. You want them to scream at you. Text can be some hideously ugly color. And size is maximum. Icon is active and is large and is white and is a hexagon, no, star. And we put the beam on. With the beam on red, and we put it on permanently. And that should shriek at us when we get one of these. We got a... VG is the background. That's... No, that's... Actually, that really stands out. I like that. Text red, and we'll have a background on it as well. There we go. That stands out. That'll really jump out at you and sing. Okay, so that's all of our high stuff set up. Now, crafting wise, I'm going to trust Neversink on these because item bases are not worth very much this league, in my experience. I've not really found much. However, flasks, we want to change some things around. Eye level 85 flasks of all qualities we want to show. So this is high level flasks, regardless of their quality. We want to show these, we want to pick them up, and we want to, so it doesn't matter what the type is, Quicksilver, I-85 flasks, you just enkindle them and you put them up for sale. It doesn't matter about anything else on them. Oh, I see what they're doing here. So it's actually, let's change this. Let's not use this rule. Let's not use this rule. We will instead use the default one that covers everything, which is going to be this here, with a change to be I-85 plus. I-85 plus, any rarity that's not unique, any quality, we're just going to show them, and we are going to have their background be a solid color that stands out. That might be too bright. Let's go with just something that's not transparent. That will stand out a bit. We're going to be picking those up, and we're going to be smashing them with a enkindling orb or an instilling orb, because there's just a lot of different results you can get that people want, and so when they're 85 plus, they will sell. Utility flasks, high level, we've done all of that. Life and mana flasks, I think, are just a flat no. Although I will try it. I will try for I-85, and doesn't have an I level section. I'm just not that fussed about it. I'm going to miss that. Jewels. Unique jewels are showing. They're already shown. Normal jewels. Abyss jewels, we only want them to show if they're 84 plus. That's my approach on those. I-84. Oh, hang on. No, it's not. Yeah, it is, because if it's come from one of the Abyssal Troves, I will hold alt and look for it. So yeah, that's okay. I'm fine with that. Okay, unique jewels are done. Cluster jewels. Cluster jewels, everything shows. Doesn't matter. Oh, every single thing shows. Doesn't matter what it is, because there is unusual demand on cluster jewels a lot of the time. So we are not hiding anything on them. As long as, oh, hang on. Just make sure that there will be a section for all other clusters at some point. A section somewhere that is just everything else. Good enchantments, that's showing. No, that's not showing stuff. It's enchants are there. Yeah, as long as the enchant's empty, it's 8 and 12 are showing. But we want to show everything because there's just a lot of things that are worth doing. So this is all the good enchants. Now we'll get to the lesser enchants down the bottom. And this is going to be shown. Doesn't matter what the situation is. Is this show it please, remove the icon for it, but don't hide cluster jewels ever, because you never know which ones sell. I'm really surprised at which ones sell sometimes. So I show everything on them. That's the ones that Neversink thinks are good. These are the ones Neversink doesn't think are good. We are still showing them. There's also a 5-for-1 recipe on these as well, so... yep, that's the ones that Neversink thinks are good. These are the ones that Neversink doesn't think are good. We'll show them all anyway. Cluster jewels, custom rule, we've done all of this now, so we don't need any of that. Okay, endgame rare items, we don't need anything changed on. Weapons and armors we're fine with. Identified endgame rares and influenced rares. Now here we can set these up in various ways, depending upon the tier that we want. You can really customize these. I generally don't like seeing very many of these now. That's become my attitude to influence items, is to not really pick up many rares and influenced items at all in the current game, and just to trade for the rare ones that I want. One thing I do want though is shaper items. I want to show a bunch of shaper stuff. including low tier stuff. I want to show all shaper rings. There's a couple of reasons for that I'll get to in a sec. So how am I going to do this, I wonder? I kind of want, add more influence to item rules. I want every shaper ring to show. In fact, I may want every shaper item. Remaining influenced rares. So I want a new thing here. And the reason for this is Mythic Orbs. There's a bunch of shenanigans with Mythic Orbs on Shaper Influence corrupt items have some potential to create some really ridiculous Eternity Shroud items. So we need a new... I think we just need to make a new rule here. This is one of the things that's at the harder end of what to do. Unless we can just say, all right, why don't we change this? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, here's how we do it. Remaining influenced items, show. Hang on. We want to show every single one of them that is Shaper at every tier, and we want to have it not scream out. So these are things you will probably just ID, Val, and if they get a premium Val implicit, then you will consider whether it's worth using a Mythic Orb on them. And that's exactly what we want. That doesn't stand out, but it is present for everything, all item levels, 68 plus. It doesn't matter what the details are. We're going to see them. Leveling stuff I don't care about. I'm solely at endgame. Skill gems. We want to just quickly check all of these. These Awaken gems are fine. It's the thing that's significant here is the Empower type category of exceptional gems. So let us bring, they're all showing up as stars. Yep, that's what we want to see. They all stand out a lot. That's the key thing we want there. Oh yeah, I will, Jonathan. I will do that as soon as I'm able to do that. As soon as it's done, it will be it'll be showing. All right, level 21 plus gems we want to see definitely. Maximum level gems I will show with no nothing jumping out at you, but it needs to be level 20, not 19, and it doesn't need that. What you want these for is you Val them, and if they hit 20 or 21, so as long as they don't go to 19, you can then use them to crunch for the harvest recipe that converts them into Facetor's lenses. Quality gems we've already done. Gems during leveling we don't care about. Val and normal gems are fine. Miscellaneous items. Valuable linked items. 6 linked... 5 linked uniques we will show. We'll show with no singing. And that's because these are good things to stick in a Krangler. No sound. 6 link uniques will sing out. Yep, that's fine. Oh, thanks, Jonathan. Unique exceptions. This picks up the Squire as well. I just make sure that if it's got the Squire in it. It doesn't matter. The Squire will sing out. It's you'll see it. Okay. Untiered items. Fishing rod. Miscellaneous currency. What do we got here? Really ridiculous stuff. This stuff I'm not going to be that fussed about. Simulate. Let's have a quick look at how it looks at this point. We're going to generate loot in high level zone first. Eternal Mana Flask shows. Maybe I don't want to show that. Next flask I get, I'll find out why it's showing the Mana Flask. Okay, have a look at this. Well, I right-click to jump to rule, don't I? And this is coming up because of these... okay, I see now. That's why it's showing. It's because it's come up because of the glassblowers recipe. I'm only going to show flasks from this recipe if they're 20 quality and 35. That should catch all of them, but the utility flasks will then show up as under the other rule. Alrighty, I think we've got something that's perfectly serviceable at the moment. Grasping Mail is a weird one there, but can't drop in normal play. Style doesn't need to be changed. Advanced is fine. Save and load. So I will now... I can save this locally. Oh no, it's not supported. Save with POE, of course. That allows me to save it to my game account. So this is going to be called, this is Scourge Week 4, Ultra Strict with changes for late league, trade league only, and we will tag this as endgame, high strictness, and we will, is there anything else we need to tag it with? It's juiced content, and apply that. So we'll save that there, and then we will also go to download. Now, they have a few things that they check here just to make sure that, you know, if you've hidden anything really important, it'll give you a warning to that effect. And there should be an option where I can share this thing now. So firstly, I'll download it. That's something I'll do for myself, but that doesn't help you folks find it. What I want to do now is figure out how to share this, and that is by clicking here, isn't it? Yes, that's correct. Okay, cool. So here in chat is the filter as it currently stands. So hopefully that's useful to people. I will then put a link to the actual filter in the description of the video now that we're done. But hopefully that was useful. I'm going to call a stream about at this point, having sort of gone through everything I think I wanted to do with this. I've saved it for myself. If anyone wants to use it, of course, feel free to do so. But also, feel free to just follow the thought process and then make your own decisions, because you might want to do things differently to how I do. So definitely keep that in mind. But I think at this point, we're basically done. If anyone's got any comments or questions, quickly fire away. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up. I'll give people a minute or two to think on things, and then we'll call it off. Got my yeah, that's right. It's really annoying that OBS's chat isn't working. I have to use YouTube Studios one instead. Yeah, thanks, Blink. That's really odd. I'm seeing chat is really delayed on YouTube Studio, but is not delayed much on... I've got a second monitor looking at the actual stream as well. Yeah, all right. I'm going to finish it off at this point then. Thank you all. May your Orbs have interesting results, and in the next 5 minutes or so, the stream link, the link to the filter will go in chat. Not in chat, in the description of the video.